Today, the Senate is supposed to vote on a couple of bills to address the expiration of the Affordable Care Act. And let me just very quickly here check the Washington Post and see if that vote has happened. Okay, the Democrats had put forward a bill that would have extended the Obamacare subsidies for 3 years. And that got blocked. The Republicans, the Senate blocks Democrats' bill to extend expiring Obamacare subsidies is the headline at the top of the Washington Post right now. So this happened just in the last few minutes. The chamber also blocked a Republican bill to give Americans up to $1,500 to spend on health care instead of extending the subsidies. So this is interesting. I mean, basically nothing is happening. You had these two pieces of legislation that were promoted by John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, and put together by Bill Cassidy and Mike Crapo, which would have given $1,000 to health savings accounts and $500 to people over 50 and under 64. Would have gotten an additional $500 and would have limited, and that just would have gone into a health savings account, which you cannot use to pay for abortions or gender-affirming care. They've got to get their right-wing crap into everything, right? So Bernie Sanders said the Crapo-Cassidy bill would, quote, make an already broken and outrageously expensive healthcare system even worse. He says it would do nothing to prevent premiums from doubling, tripling, or even quadrupling for millions of Americans. It would do nothing to lower the outrageous cost of healthcare or prescription drugs. It would do nothing to make it easier for Americans to see a doctor when they get sick. And he's right. Bernie was absolutely right, as he always is. Frankly, Bernie, on this, we started the show in 2003, and that year, Bernie started coming on every Friday and taking calls from listeners. And for 11 years thereafter, every single Friday, even on the Fridays after Thanksgiving on a couple of occasions, back when we used to do the show on those days, he would come on and take calls. I mean, Bernie is like the Energizer Bunny. And I don't know that he's ever been wrong about anything, frankly. But so anyhow, they asked Trump about this. And he said, well, I want to give the money to the people, not to the insurance companies. Some kind of extension may be necessary to get something else done. And that, I think, is the what's the metaphor? The camel's nose under the tent, the wiggle room, whatever. Here's how I think this is going to play out. Now, I'll tell you right up front, Louise, who helps organize the show every day, does a lot of the research. I mean, this is a collaborative effort, obviously, between the two of us, and with input from Sean and Nate and the other people who work here, but it's principally Louise and I. And we go through what we think is going to be the show the night before. We will do that this afternoon and this evening, and then we nail it down in the morning. We're up at 5 in the morning, and we go on the air at 9 Pacific time. And she's of the opinion, and I say all that by way of pointing out that Louise is no slouch, and she knows what's going on absolutely as well as I do, and maybe better. She's a really good researcher and really follows the news. She's of the opinion that the Republicans are going to shoot themselves in the foot, that they're just not going to be able to get anything done between now and the end of the year, and the premiums are going to go through the roof. And in January, people are going to see 21 to 24 million Americans are going to see their health insurance bills double or triple, and it's going to really hurt the GOP. And that's conventional wisdom. It seems to be what most people are expecting. I think that something else is going to happen, and it'll be interesting to see if I'm right or wrong. I'm not, I won't defend this to my death kind of thing. This is a theory, it's an opinion. It's not I have no certainty of this. But there is a discharge petition in the House right now that was put together by Democrats. And discharge petitions require, 219 votes. And it apparently has the support of at least a half a dozen Republicans, which means it probably will pass the House, that will extend these subsidies for 3 years. Now, the Democrats just tried to do this in the Senate, and it got blocked. But it got blocked because there were a couple of Republican things that were coming after it, and they didn't get enough votes. They were filibustered by the Democrats, or they just didn't have enough Republican votes. I haven't read the article yet to get all the details of the nuance of it. But the bottom line, nothing happened basically today. No forward motion. So I'm thinking that probably this discharge petition will pass the House, will go to the Senate. Trump just said we may have to extend this for a while we figure this out. So Trump would sign this. And I'm guessing, or betting, guessing more than betting actually, that it's going to pass the Senate. Between Democrats and a handful of Republicans, that it'll pass the Senate. Now, I could be wrong. I probably am. Louise is right more often than I am. I'll tell you right up front. So we'll see. We'll see. But it's going to be real interesting the next couple of weeks here. I mean, and maybe just the next week, because I think the week after that is going to be, Christmas vacation, and everybody's gone. So keep an eye on this, because the future, the fate and future of the GOP and the Trump presidency is hanging in the balance.